What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bucko's Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Boy. Yep. First down. Big clipper. 30 clipper. Rage before app. I'm definitely putting my average up against app. Then you was the coolest. You shook the game. You was cool as Nintendo until you shook the game, then blew it. I clapped you in a coma. Madness. I can snap it in any moment. Face shot. I Popeyes. Why I order. Madness. Bars. I condiment for this. Bars. Bars. Dropping bars, folks. For those of you that watch battle rap, you know what that means. You know. Welcome to Bucko's Locker. Madness. EFB. The alien. Let's get abducted. Just, you know what I'm saying? We got some stuff to talk about, folks. Interesting news, man. Interesting news. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? All right. I would like to introduce a critically acclaimed. He went from ashy to being classy. All right. You never been as broke as me. Yeah. You know, it's the hard. The NFL is a tough game, folks. The NFL is a tough game. I want everybody to understand how the NFL works. Not for long. Some of you might be upset with the news. Some of you probably clapping like a coma. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to body green, here to body green. Luke Ferrigno here to body green. But yeah, man, the NFL's a tough game, folks. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's start with the news that just came out today. Well, a couple things. Shilo Sanders was cut, undrafted free agent. It was fun while it was lasting. It was fun while it lasted, but it was fun. The cameras followed him around, but he basically signed and sealed his fate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. Shilo Sanders, I wish you the best of luck. I appreciate your contributions to the team. Uh, but we all knew what time it was with Shilo Sanders. I mean, he didn't do himself a favor by playing a bad game. He didn't put pass interferences, and he didn't do a great job. And then the personal foul. Then he got kicked out the game. It was not a good look. Is all I'm saying. It was not a good look. But I think reality TV will be good for him. He shouldn't have hit the guy. He shouldn't have slapped the dude. Like, you an undrafted free agent, and you cannot act like that. You already are walking on eggshells. You know, he was already walking on eggshells, and you pull that stuff. You can't do that, Shilo Sanders. Walking on eggshells, and you get into a fight in the middle of you fighting for a job, and he goes in there and slaps the dude and retaliates. Did anybody buy a Shilo Sanders jersey? Oh, Bitcoin is dropping like crazy. I mean, you fighting for a job and you slapping the dude upside the head. What you doing? I'm just saying, man. I wish him the best of luck, but man, he gonna have a hard time making a roster, man, because he already got a Shilo Sanders, right? The name alone, like I don't want to get into it or nothing like that, but right, at least he ain't go out like no punk, right? At least he ain't go out like no punk. At least he ain't go out like no punk. At least he stood his ground. You know what I'm saying? The Florida way. Stand your ground. The Florida way. That's what we do down there, down south. The Florida way. Because I ain't gonna let nobody punk me like that. I ain't no punk. You feel me? Because I'm gonna get down with you. I ain't gonna let you just talk reckless to me and do all that crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's rock bottom. It's statue. Laid in the bus top with a bus top. Laid in the bus top. That's a dang shame. I hope nobody bought the jersey. I mean, Shilo, he didn't play good. He didn't have a great preseason, and then before he got ejected, he didn't look good. Before he got ejected, he didn't look good. He had a pass interference penalty. Passer rating was 100. He missed some tackles, and then you do that. If he didn't slap that dude, he would have got more snaps and might have would have been able to get better as the game go and make plays. He didn't play well, man. Like, it's not even about just the getting ejected. That was the icing on the cake. Him getting ejected was the icing on the cake. Even Todd Bowles spoke on that. Todd Bowles like, you can't do that. You can't retaliate. That's just the bottom line. You're not supposed to do that. I hope he rebounds. I hope he does better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rag on him like that, but it was not a good look, man. It was not a good look. Y'all know it wasn't a good look. But let's keep it real. Does anybody have any good to say about Shilo Sanders? let's be real. Does anybody have any good? Does anybody have any good to say about Shilo Sanders? I mean, let's not act like it was terrible. Like he's not a bad person. You know, he's not a bad person. Like he's not out here causing drunk driving or hitting people or something like that. He seems like he's a good kid. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a good man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a bad person. Let's be real. Let's not act like he's a bad person. Let's not make it seem like he's a terrible human being. He's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's a bad person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to create a false narrative. He's not a bad person. Y'all think he can get? Y'all think he can get to the Bucks practice squad? Let me give you some shout outs real quick. Let me give a couple shout outs. Y'all think he can make the practice squad? I mean, they can bring him back on the practice squad. I'll put him right on the practice squad. That's where he belongs at. I mean, they can develop it if they want to. They can develop Shilo. What you say? He was getting chewed out on the sideline, and knowing that the Bucks got injury problems, I wouldn't be surprised. They keep him around. I mean, he's more of an enforcer. I mean, he could have did something last game, but I mean, shout out to Shilo Sanders, man. It sucks, man. And let's get to the real news. Y'all heard the news about Trask, right? What y'all thoughts on the Trask situation? Let's get down to the real conversation. Let me get y'all thoughts on it. Let me get y'all thoughts on it. I'm gonna need y'all to keep it 100 too. Keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Dang, Dub. That's how you feel, Dub? What's up, Dub? That's how you feel? Emeka should grab number 2. He probably will too. Damn, you gonna forget about Kyle Trask like that? He was with the team for 5 years, man. I mean, let's not rag on Kyle Trask like that. I mean, I thought he was gonna be number 3. I knew he wasn't gonna be the backup. Oh, hashtag what did I tell you? I mean, I'm not here to rag on Kyle Trask like that. I'm not here to do all that. I mean, it's unfortunate 2nd-round pick. Um, Second-round pick, man. Gone. I mean, it was a questionable pick from the jump, but to keep the man around for 5 years, man, that was a waste of time. It should have been got rid of him. If you knew you weren't going to keep him around, why'd you bring him back? I mean, 2nd-round draft pick, 5 years developed. 5 years wasted, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a good look. And the thing about it is that the media don't even talk about Kyle Trask. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even talk about him. I mean, was he given a fair shot? That can be debatable, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Teddy Bridgewater was literally just coaching last month. Yeah, we got 30 folks in the chat. Like the video, man. Why did the Bucks keep him around? If he wasn't the future quarterback, why did you keep him around? The Bucks basically got nothing out of Kyle Trask. Got nothing out of him at all. A wasted 2nd-round pick. They got nothing out of him. He didn't start a game. Kyle Trask was, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater was on the couch. was on the couch, folks. Teddy Bridgewater practiced a couple days, and they gave him the job. So you know what that tells me, folks? It tells me a lot about the Bucks. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Bucks are not into trying to make the playoffs. They're trying to go far. And it came down to, in my opinion, it came down to experience. It came down to experience, folks. Let's be real. It came down to experience. I don't think it would have nothing to do with Kyle Trask. It's just that they felt better with Teddy Bridgewater being back. You know, they believe Teddy Bridgewater, if he was called upon, will give them the best chance to win. But we're going to go in a little bit deeper for like the next 15 minutes because this pick kind of solidifies what I've been saying about Jason Light. For all the good that he's done for this organization, getting Tom Brady to come and, you know, Tom Brady and the Avengers to come along with him to win the Super Bowl in 2020. I appreciate all that. But man, oh man, this Kyle Trask situation though, it just kind of like solidifies the unfortunate truth. Jason Light, he missed on some key pieces, man, and he cannot get the quarterback. I think he's afraid of dealing with the quarterback situation. That Super Bowl, it literally kind of, I ain't gonna say bought him some time, but I mean, fam, Kyle Trask was a second round pick, man. When you draft a quarterback, you have to give him the best chance to succeed, right? And I'm just speaking football terms here. Nothing against Kyle Trask, nothing against Baker Mayfield, nothing personal with Jason Light. I don't know him. I don't know Baker. I don't know Kyle Trask. I met Kyle Trask. I met Baker Mayfield. But man, you know, a second round pick after 5 years, basically, you basically say that's enough. So what was the difference between 2021 when you got him? What's the difference between 2023 and 2025? You know, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew he wasn't gonna be the future quarterback when you signed Baker Mayfield, when you could have you could have made him a trade package, you could have cut him 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? What was the reason in keeping him? If you didn't have no faith in him being the future of the organization, you drafted this guy, right? Okay, so since Jason Light been here, he's drafted Jameis Winston, right? Jameis Winston had his ups and downs. You know, Jameis Winston, he wasn't terrible. He was very productive, but he was highly volatile with the turnovers. Well, let me kind of change that up a little bit. It was really 2019. That was the outlier year, but we understand it was no risk and no biscuit. So Jameis had his ups and downs, but he was highly talented. I think a lot of us can agree with that. He's a talented quarterback. He can throw the ball, but he tends to put the ball in harm's way. And the reason why he's not with organization is because of Tom Brady. You know, Jason Light was like, Tom Brady was available. I couldn't turn him down, right? And I offer him the job, offer him, the opportunity to play for the Bucks. And Tom Brady picked. Well, the Bucks weren't his first choice, but he eventually picked the Bucks. I think the Bucks was like his fourth choice, according to the reports. The Chargers, the 49ers, the Raiders, they were all in front of the Bucks. The Dolphins, I believe, was in front of the Bucks, and the Bucks was like the fifth choice. and we didn't have a bad roster, but so Jason Light basically missed on Jameis Winston, right? Talented quarterback, but too many turnovers, and then the opportunity to get Tom Brady. And then we win the Super Bowl in 2020 with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, Ryan Suckup, Tristan Wirfs, and Antoine Winfield Jr. That's 7 starters that did not play in 2019 that played in 2020. So we basically upgraded the team. It was not the same team, right? Once again, Brady, we traded out Winston. Well, he was a free agent, but Brady replaced it Winston. Tristan Wirfs replaced Donovan Smith. Antonio Brown was the best receiver on the team. Ryan Suckup was better than Matt Gay. Leonard Fournette eventually was better than Ronald Jones. And Antoine Winfield Jr. was the best secondary player. Rob Gronkowski was the best tight end on the team. All 7 of those guys did not play with the Bucs in 2019. So when people say it was the same team, that's a lie. That's a BS narrative. And then the following year, Jason Light drafts Kyle Trask in the 2nd round. A lot of Bucs fans, it was mixed feelings behind that. We wanted defense, or we wanted some O-line. We wanted defense, cornerback. But Jason Light was like, I'm looking at the future. I mean, let me draft a quarterback in the 2nd round. And his rookie season, well, obviously he was not going to play with Tom Brady around, but we were thinking that eventually Kyle Trask will take over after Tom Brady leaves. Under the tutelage of Bruce Arians, Byron Leftwich, Tom Moore, Clyde Christensen, we believe that he was the quarterback of the future. So that was in 2021, right? The Bucs went 13-4 in 2021. Boom. We good to go. Lost in the playoffs. Is Tom Brady gonna retire? Yada yada yada. He retires for 40 days and he comes back. So he retired. It was like the Bucs got Kyle Trask. Then Tom Brady comes back, and that whole fiasco was a total sugar honey iced tea show. The Bucs finished the season 8-9. Bruce Arians steps down. Here comes Todd Bowles. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. I'm sorry. That was in 2023. After a couple seasons with Brady, 3 seasons with Brady, 2020, 2021, 2022. Here comes Todd Bowles in 2023. It's interesting how this all played out. In 2022, I'm sorry. Todd Bowles comes in his first season. He goes and gets Baker Mayfield. So Baker Mayfield been on several teams before getting to the Bucs. Panthers, Rams, Browns, so we're looking at Baker Mayfield at the time as a journeyman quarterback. They have an open competition. We thinking like, okay, Kyle Trask, he's been with the organization for several years. He has the upper hand. Maybe he will win the job. And then Baker comes in preseason. It wasn't like a big difference between the two. And usually when it's close, you go with a young guy. But Todd Bowles always liked Baker Mayfield. Look like Baker Mayfield has been his guy for a while, even when he was with the Jets. Baker Mayfield wins the job. First season goes 9-8. So it was like, all right, there's something to work with. Kyle Trask stayed on the team. They kept him. In 2024, he comes back to the team. Baker Mayfield leveled up his playing. 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 4,500 yards. But after the 9-8 season, the Bucs give him a 3-year deal, $30 million a year. I'm just kind of going down the timeline here. They bring Kyle Trask back to be the backup. 2024, Baker Mayfield, the Bucs go 10-7. Kyle Trask, the backup. Then 2025 hit. Nobody really was thinking about Kyle Trask because we knew Baker was the established starter. And then for some strange reason at the time, the Bucs decided to go get Teddy Bridgewater, which totally let me know at the time that the Bucs were on demon time, meaning they were about getting to the NFC Championship Super Bowl. Like, this move to me solidifies what I thought what Todd Bowles believed. Todd Bowles believe that this current team is ready for a Super Bowl push, because when you make a move like that and sign a veteran, productive quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, that is not a signing to say, oh, we just need somebody there. We need somebody to make sure if Baker Mayfield get hurt, that he can hold down the fort. And he comes in the preseason game, he throws 2 touchdowns, which was very interesting. Like, his first action in months, over a year, pretty much, right? He was coaching. He was literally in Dayton County, was it Fort Lauderdale, somewhere up in there, coaching high school football. And then he got in a little bit of trouble and all that. That's another story. And when the Bucs made the signing of Teddy Bridgewater, I knew Kyle Trask time was up. Juice 31, what's up, man? I knew Kyle Trask time was up when the Bucs went and got Teddy Bridgewater. And that's unfortunate because you don't like to see your homegrown talent. Big Buck. Hey, Big Buck, you gonna be at the game, man? Unfortunately, you don't want to see homegrown talent just kind of just go away for nothing. It sucks because I think some of us wanted to see what he can do to, like, if he was a starting quarterback for the Bucs, would the ceiling still be the same? Would the Bucs still would have finished 9-8? Was there a big difference between Baker and Kyle? Would the team still be 9-8 with Kyle Trask? Would the team still be 10-7 with Kyle Trask? Because the 2 years that Baker has been the starter, the record is 19-15. 19 his Baker Mayfield record as a starting quarterback for the Bucs. Once again, 9-8, 10-7. That's a record of 19-15. Which is not, 34 games as the Bucs starter, 4 games over 500. That's kind of the middle of the pack. I mean, just averaging out the numbers, that's the middle of the pack type team. With Baker Mayfield leading the team as of now, middle of the pack. A fight. The Bucs' personality has taken the course of Baker Mayfield. A feisty team, a fiery team, a little bit of overachieving, unpredictability, a little wild. So the team has taken the personality of Baker Mayfield. And that's the truth. The Bucs are slightly overachieving. Not always been a great franchise, but we've caught the NFC South at the right time, because in the mid 2010s we were an afterthought, because it was all about the Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers for a long time. But now that we got Baker Mayfield, in the 2 years that he's been a starter, slightly above average, right? 19 and 15, which is, if you look at all the teams in the NFL and you look at the record these last 2 years, the regular season record, you can see that the Bucs are pretty much like kind of middle of the pack. Which kind of backs up what I've been saying about the Bucs. The Bucs are not an elite team. They're not a top 10 team, but they're right in that middle, like that 11 to 15 range, which is not bad at all. I'm happy with that. But the Kyle Trask situation is a head scratcher because it's a wasted pick. And I think somebody in the comment section said that nobody from the 2021 draft class is on the team. Is that true? I'm not looking at my phone right now. I'm trying to do this off the top of the dome. That draft class, if I'm not believed, if correct me if I'm wrong, it was Joe Triansto Inca, Kyle Trask. Was it Luke Gadecki in that draft class, or was that Robert Hainsley? Well, that was the following year. Who else was in that draft class? Give me the whole draft class. It was Joe Triansto Inca with the 32nd pick. Kyle Trask. I think Luke Gadecki was in that draft class too. No, I'm sorry. That's the year after. Who was it Robert Hainsley? I think it was Hainsley. They're all gone. That is wild. Let that sink in, folks. So this is the second time that Jason Light has missed the entire draft class. As a matter of fact, give me the draft classes. Give me the 2016 draft class and give me the 2021 draft class. Let's look at those names. Let's look at the 2016 draft class and let's look at the 2021 draft class. All right, so Josh Woodard said 2016, 2021 RIP. So Grislow, appreciate it. So this is the 2021 draft class. None of those guys are on the team. None of those guys are really good. None of them. KJ Britt was a part of the team too. None of those guys are on the Bucs. This is the 2021 draft class. Give me the 2016 draft class. None of those guys are good. None of them are average. KJ Britt was with Miami and he got cut. And Anthony Walker Jr., the Bucs released him too. So what was the reason of getting him again? Give me the 2016 draft class. Hey, Juice 31. If you get your own show, then you could talk about week 1. This is my show. You could talk about week 1 on your own show, but you can't run nothing over here. You can't dictate how Buckles like to talk, Juice 31. Respect to you, but respect my platform, fam. This is how we get down over here. We're talking about current events. We will get to the week 1 conversation next week. You can come back then, but as of right now, we're talking about current stuff. So this 2021 draft class, underwhelming, extreme underwhelming signings. So remember, Jason Light, amongst Bucs fans, because of the Super Bowl and because of him bringing in Tom Brady and Super Friends, these are the things that certain Bucs fans overlook because of he's made up for it because of the Super Bowl, Bucky Irvin, Tristan Wirfs, Winfield Jr., Zion McCullough, which is great. Vita, great. He hit on some picks. Kalijah Clancy's in between. Yaya Diaby's making an upbeat. Logan Hall still in question. Anthony Nelson. But he gets away with stuff like this. He gets away with it. Nobody in the 2021 draft class is on the team. That is a waste of a draft class. That's not right, folks. That's 2 draft class that he missed every pick. You know how hard that is to do? You know how hard that is to do, to miss on every pick? Like every single pick. Every single pick, 2 draft classes. And we just go over like that never happened. The 2021 draft class could have gave us 2 starters, maybe 3. That should be on this roster and productive. Here's the 2016 draft class. None of those guys were good. None of them. None of those guys. That's 2 draft classes. Mike Evans still on the team. Levante Davis still on the team. 2019 was 9 years ago. You would think that we should at least have 2 of those guys from that draft class still productive, still good. That is wild. That is a wild stat that nobody talks about. So for him to miss on the 2021 draft class, the reason why we keep playing catch up is because of the 2021 draft class. The 2016 he had to play catch up on. I don't think Jason Light recovered from that draft class, to be honest with you. The 2021 draft class set the franchise back a couple years. Even though we've been winning the NFC South, but once again, the NFC South is weak. It's a powder puff division. It's not the NFC South in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Because during those years, the NFC South was probably one of the best divisions. I mean, we had a prime Cam Newton, a prime Luke Kuechly, a prime Thomas Davis, a prime Jonathan Stewart, a prime D'Angelo Williams, right? Deal with the Panthers, right? A prime Julius Peppers, right? And then we had to deal with the Atlanta Falcons, prime Matt Ryan, prime Julio Jones, Roddy White, John Abraham, Desmond Trufant. And then we had to deal with the Saints with Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Marcus Colston, Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lattimore, Mark Ingram, Ryan Ramczyk, Teron Armstead. Saints was stacked. So that mid-2010s, we had no shot. Now you fast forward to the current NFC South, Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shaw, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Michael Penix. Ain't no world beaters there. This version of the NFC South is easy, cream puff. There is no hard quarterbacks in the NFC South. There is no hard teams in the NFC South. The Bucs is the best team. There is no extreme separation between the Bucs and the Falcons. There's no big gap. It's a 2-game difference between the Bucs and the Falcons. 2-game difference. Flip a coin. So as good as Jason Light has done in putting this team back together, but at the same time, he's had a lot of trouble. He had a lot of trouble dealing with Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, and Cam Newton. He could not figure out a draft class to compete in the mid-2010s. Right? We had the worst roster from 2014 to 2019. That was the worst roster in the NFC South. But now the Bucks' current roster is probably the best roster in the NFC South. Like, people don't realize Baker got it easy. Baker got to go up against Bryce Young, Michael Penix, and Tyler Shaw and Spencer Rattler. Or Spencer Rattler. That's easy for Baker Mayfield. Look at the coaches. Raheem Morris, Dave Canales, and Kellen Moore. None of those coaches are really good. And Tom, like, look at the coaching in the NFC South right now. Now, you go back into the mid 2010s, we had to deal with Ron Rivera, Dan Quinn, who's still a problem for the Bucks, and Sean Payton. This version of the NFC South, the Bucks should be able to win this every year for a couple more years. It's not hard, folks. But going back to Kyle Trask and the Teddy Bridgewater situation, some of us are disappointed because we wanted to see our homegrown talent succeed. But man, when you shine a light on the Kyle Trask situation, it shines a light on the entire draft class in 2021. That's crazy. And I shout out to the folks that brought it to my attention, because I wasn't even thinking about the whole draft class in 2021. In 2021. I wasn't even thinking about the draft class. So, like I said, Jason Light has done some great things for the Bucks. He's done some good things. He's done some great things, but he's also done some head-scratching things. I don't know. I do know this, based on my assumption, that the Bucks are not in it just to get to the playoffs. I think they know they can win the NFC South. They know that. They believe that now, right? They believe that. There is no doubt in my mind. I believe the Bucks can win the NFC South. But do I believe, can the Bucks get past the first round? I don't know. That's a question mark. Edward Graham, he's on one tonight. Edward Graham, shout out to Edward Graham. He's dropping some knowledge for y'all. I want y'all to see this for a second here, folks. He's dropping some knowledge here. I want y'all to understand the thought process of Jason Light back then and even now. Back in 2016, and I don't want to go back and keep touching on the 2016 draft class, because we can do this with 2021, but just give you a highlight of, this is the pre-Brady years of Jason Light. He did these type of things. So if you just pick one of these guys, just one, just pick one of these guys in the 2016 draft class. Chris Jones was available when Jason Light was available. Xavier Howard, the Bucks always had cornerback issues. Kenny Clark, the Bucks always had pass rush issues. This is what I be talking about. See, when you start kind of digging into the weeds with Jason Light, because you can highlight all the great things, and that's how society works, but they tend to overlook the things when you start going underneath the crevices. When you start digging into the draft, and I don't want to hear this, well, GMs all miss, and that's, you absolutely right. Every GM miss. But some occasions, just take the obvious player. And sometimes Jason Light struggles with that. Hence the 2021 draft class. Kyle Trask, he struggled. If we are in Super Bowl or bust mode, you don't need to draft Kyle Trask. Kenny Clark would have helped the Bucks. Chris Jones would have definitely helped the Bucks, and Xavier Howard would have helped the Bucks. That is a fact. But we don't know how they would have been developed in the Bucks, because the Bucks had a weird culture. It was a weird culture with Dort Cutter, right? Shout out to Dort Cutter. But I'm just saying, the 2021 draft class is a head scratcher, and Kyle Trask is the prime representation of what do Jason Light be thinking. Because now, all those, matter of fact, rounds 1 through 4 in 2021, 3 of those rounds should have been starters. Like, let's just be real. In the 2021 draft class, we should have got at least 2 good starters. Two. Because every draft class, you're not going to hit on every pick, but you kind of want to at least get 2 starters and a backup. Remember, this is 4 years ago. It's not like the 2021 draft class is old. It's 4 years ago. And we got no starters in that draft class. None. That's on the team. Nobody on the team. As a matter of fact, none of those guys are worth a damn. Damn, you couldn't even get 1 starter from the 2021 draft class. 1. That's 4 years ago, folks. Remember, when you miss on an entire draft class, you have to play catch up. Look at Mopar Buck. Tyreek Hill was available, and we drafted Caleb Benenot, or Caleb I cannot block. Where is Caleb I cannot block? Where is he at right now? None of the guys in the 2021 draft class that Jason Light drafted are productive, are even good. None of them are good. The 2016 draft class, 9 years ago, none of them are worth a damn. That's 14 players, folks. Now, if you look at the current roster, it's pretty obvious that the Bucs' strength is offense. Offense. Jason Light has went head over heels over offense. But we was not complaining about the offense. As a fan base, we were not complaining about the Bucs offense. The biggest complaint that a lot of Bucs fans had was the goddamn defense. Excuse my language. Oh, don't even get me started on the Devin White pick. Oh, my 5th pick in the draft, and he's not on the team? And that was 5 years ago. Okay, Edward Graham. Devin White was drafted 5th in 2019. He was the 5th player drafted in 2019. Let that sink in, folks. Don't even get me started on Devin White. This Kyle Trask situation, some fans are glad he gone. Some fans are not happy. But it just gives you the bigger picture on where the Bucs think they are right now. Where the Bucs think they are right now, they believe that they have the pieces to get to the Super Bowl, or at least to the NFC Championship. But remember, I always said this about the Bucs in the last few years. Things have to fall in line for the Bucs to get to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. Meaning they're going to need some help. They're going to need some injuries. They're going to need some things to happen, because the Bucs don't have the team to just say they're going to get to the NFC South, in the NFC Championship or the Super. They don't have the pieces like Rondé Barber said. They're lacking up front defensively, in particular the edge. He didn't want to put the secondary out there like that because he likes Jacob Parrish, he likes Winfield Jr., he likes Tyke Smith, right? He likes Zion McCullough. He likes those guys. So he's not going to put the secondary out there like that. But I'm going to listen to Rondé Barber over, no disrespect, over some random Bucks fan. I'm going to listen to Rondé Barber and his take on how he views the Bucks defense. And what did I say about the Bucks defense? Trenches matter. The offensive line is good to go. The Bucks defensive line, work to do. Because if your defensive line is good, that means your secondary can improve. But Rondé Barber, a Hall of Fame cornerback / nickel slot guy, literally gave y'all what I've been telling y'all for the last several years. The Bucks D-line is not that good in a nutshell. In particular, the outside pass rush. Somebody said early in the comment section, somebody said there's only 2 players from the 2019 draft class that's still on the Bucks. Anthony Nelson and Jamel Dean are the only 2 guys from the 2019 draft class, 6 years ago. Let that sink in, folks. 2 players from the 2019 draft class is still on the roster. Anthony Nelson, Jamel Dean. So clearly, Jason Licht has done a better job from 2020 to 2025. Even though he missed on an entire draft class, he's still done a great job rebuilding his roster. But I'm just giving y'all the truth along with my powers and my C-bands in the chat, giving me the history of the 2021 draft class. Because now we got to play catch up. When you don't get no starters from a draft class, that's a problem. That is crazy. So 2019, Jamel Dean, Anthony Nelson, still on the team. So pre-2020, you got Mike Evans and Lavonte David. I get it. Anything at 2014, 2015, 2016 is a little old, right? But 2018, 2019, you should still have a few players on that roster. I'm just saying, man. The Kyle Trask situation, man, 2nd round pick, man. It's disappointing, man. Waiting on some information from Edward Graham. Shout out to Edward Graham tonight. But the Kyle Trask situation is like, hey, man, the Bucks are really like they trying to get it together. And I ain't even mad at him. I'm not even mad at Jason Licht because I think he knows you can't keep talking about the Bucks have done a great job and all their starters are from the draft classes. Yeah, Jason, but you're gonna have to kind of produce some results here, buddy. We can keep hyping up the regular season, or we can keep hyping up the preseason and listening to what other NFL media heads talk about. Oh, the Bucks, all their starters are from the draft class, except quarterback. The most important position on the Bucks, Jason Light did not draft. He didn't draft Baker Mayfield. And then another position of importance, edge rusher, Hassan Reddick, who was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. And a lot of his shine came with the Eagles. So Jason Light did not draft Hassan Reddick as well. So 2 out of the 3 or 4 most important positions, Jason Light did not draft well. He didn't draft Baker Mayfield. He didn't draft Hassan Reddick. Pass rush and quarterback are 2 of the most important positions on the team, along with left tackle and cornerback. So 2 out of the 4 most important positions, Jason Light had to go get somebody to be productive because he couldn't draft it. Jason Light has not done a great job drafting edge rushers or at quarterback. 2 very important positions. You know, a lot of us haven't forgot about the Roberto Aguayo or the Devin White, O.J. Howard's fiascos. Okay, shout out to Edward Graham. Edward Graham, man. Edward Graham is really on one tonight. He's giving y'all some insight on the 2021 draft class that Jason Light pretty much missed on. I mean, folks, I'm just saying, we get Landon Dickerson. We don't need to get Cody Mulch in the 2nd round. We could have got some more defensive help at cornerback instead of Cody Mulch with Landon Dickerson, all-pro guard, right? I like Ojolari. He's pretty good. He would have helped the pass rush. He had but he's been hurt. He's injury prone. But you know, I think he had one season that earlier he had like 6, 7 sacks, whatever, more than what we've been getting from edge. And then Creed Humphrey, we get Creed Humphrey in 2021. We don't need Graham Barton in 2024. We can go get a cornerback or another pass rusher. You see what I'm saying? The Bucks had to double back. The Bucks had to double down and draft Graham Barton. Graham Barton in 2024 instead of getting Creed Humphrey in 2021. You see, when you miss on picks, you set the team back. And then, of course, you know, Big Red got hurt. Ryan Jensen got hurt. But you get what I'm saying, folks. When you miss on draft picks, and I know people miss on draft picks, GMs miss, but you cannot miss bad. Exactly. Edward Graham, Landon Dickerson, and Creed Humphrey have been to 2 Super Bowls the last 2 years. The Eagles and Chiefs. You don't think Landon Dickerson and Creed Humphrey would have helped the Bucks O-line? Which means you don't have to draft a Graham Barton in 2024. Or you don't have to draft a Cody Mulch in 2023. Both of those picks would have been on defense. Oh, Big Buck. Here's another guy we could have got. That would have definitely helped the defensive line that Rondé Barber spoke on. Christian Barmore, and Big Buck's been on this he's been on this since 2021. Christian Barmore is a problem. Now he has some, I think he has blood clots, but when he's on the field, he's a problem. You don't think he would have helped Vita on the D-line along with Chris Jones? I know we planned the woulda, coulda, shoulda game, but this goes back to the Kyle Trask release of him being a 2nd round pick. Christian Barmore, I think, went in the 2nd round, right, Big Buck? Sometimes Jason Light thinks he's the smartest GM in the NFL. I'm just going to stick to drafting cool guys. You got to get the Chris Jones and the Jeffrey Simmons and the Christian Barmores and the Keon Whites. the Creed Humphreys, little nastiness in them, Landon Dickerson. Just get the guy. Big Buck been on the Christian Baltimore thing since 2021. Big Buck, you've been on this since 4 years ago. You will not let that Christian Baltimore pick go, huh? That's just like me not letting that Trey McBride pick go. Yeah, Dada, he does have blood clot issues, but that doesn't change the fact that he's more productive and would have helped the Bucks D line big time. You know, that's like me talking about the Bucks should have got Travis Jones. But the Bucks refuse to get guys that's going to help the D line. They want to get guys like Chris Braswell, Logan Hall. You know, I will not let certain picks go because the Bucks could have drafted Swasinger, Jack Campbell, Christian Gonzalez. You know, like these are guys that the Bucks literally could have drafted. I'm not letting these picks go. The Devin White, the OJ Howard situation. You should have got Dalvin Cook. I'm not letting some of these picks go, folks, because it's painful to see that the guy is right there and you say no. But now we got to play catch up on the D line, which explains why we got to draft Kalasi Clancy, a Chris Braswell, a Logan Hall. We got to keep guys around like Anthony Nelson. We had William Golson on the team for years because we couldn't find nobody. We got Greg Gaines. Greg Gaines. Big Buck will not let the Christian Baltimore thing go because you see how Christian Baltimore played when he on that field. Jermaine Johnson. You let the Jets go in front of you to get Jermaine Johnson. Like, come on. Mike Green was on the board. Mike Green was on the board. And what did Jason Light do? Nah, I'm good. I mean, Chris Braswell. I mean, not Chris Braswell, but give me a second round cornerback. I hope Benjamin Morris turns out good. Don't get me wrong. But we needed pass rush. Sometimes just go get the guy that's going to help the team immediately. Stop with the nice guy crap. Nice guys will only get you so far. The Bucks needed pass rush. We've named several guys dating back to 2021 that the Bucks should have picked, and the Bucks chose not to. Yeah, Donovan Izareke. The Cowboys got him, I believe. We could have picked up James Houston, who was on the waiver wire or something like that. But the Bucks don't want to do that. And then we complain about the pass rush. You wonder why? All these young pass rushers that the Bucks do not want to touch. For whatever reason, because when you look at the Kyle Trask situation, it makes you scratch your head. A second round pick wasted. Lifestyle, right? Don't take it. Party, party, party. Let's all get wasted. I don't wear tight jeans like the. Let's get wasted. Jermaine Johnson, Travis Jones, Christian Baltimore, Trey McBride. Mike Green. The Devin White, the Josh Allen pass rush situation, I will not let that go. You should have drafted Josh Hines Allen over Devin White. You always pick the pass rusher over a freaking linebacker. You always take the pass rusher over a freaking linebacker. Exactly, Dada. Picking Gerald McCoy. Picking Gerald McCoy. And then turn around years later and go get Ndamukong Suh. You get Gerald McCoy, and then years later, let me get Ndamukong Suh. You should have got him before. Come on, man. We need some tough guys on that D line. I've been screaming this for several years. And I am not worried about the Bucs offense. I'm going to be on the defense throat this year. I am so sick and tired of the Bucs got to put up 30 points to win a game. An off-ball linebacker who tackles high and get people hurt over a pass rusher. Let that sink in, folks. You can't make this up. An off-ball linebacker that can't tackle good. That's playing for the Raiders right now. But did he get cut? I am going to be on the defense neck all 17 games. Every game, you're going to hear me talk about the defense. Every freaking game. I'm going to bash y'all upside the head about the Bucs defense all season long. Y'all gonna get tired of me talking about the defense until they show me improvement. We need defensive help. We need pass rushers. And I'm talking about guys that got skills. Chris Braswell can't even get off a block of a second and third string right tackle. Rondé Barber told y'all, I'm going to keep bringing this up. Go watch the tape. Rondé Barber said the Bucs are good offensively, paraphrasing, but he doesn't believe that the Bucs have enough dogs in the trenches, and particularly at the edge. When he stated when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, it started up front. Mom for Christ, you're screaming for Nolan Smith. Well, the thing about Nolan Smith, his knock was he's small and we don't know about his arm length and he is explosive. But if you notice, he's starting to show something. That's like Chop Robertson. People was like, oh, Chop Robertson, he's a little small, but Chop Robertson looks better than Yaya Dobby. Nolan Smith looks like he about to have a crazy season. But meanwhile, we waiting on Yaya Diaby. We waiting on him. Once again, I am going to beat a drum. I'm going to beat that drum so hard. I'm going to wear out that drum on the defense. Y'all gonna get so sick of me talking about that defense. Anytime I see a 3rd and 10 converted in crucial situations, I am going to let them have it. Do you hear me, Bucs fans? Do you hear me, Positive Cements? I'm talking about when I see them 3rd and 9s and 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 10s and 3rd and 11s and 3rd and 12s and Josh Allen driving back the pass. First down. I'm gonna look at the screen. I'm gonna be looking at y'all like, you see? You see what I'm talking about? You see it? I'm telling you, I'm gonna look at the screen all season long. Anytime there's a third and long and it's a first down on the Bucks, I'm gonna look at the screen in complete disgust mode. Especially when it's a third down in a crucial moment and a pass rush don't get there, or it's a third down in a crucial moment, Todd Bowles blitz and don't get in there with the blitz, touchdown. I am going to let the defense have it. Y'all gonna get sick of me talking about the defense because that's what's holding the team back. Let's be real. Y'all know what's real. It's the trenches on the D-line. It's the trenches holding the team back. You think you finna go to the Super Bowl when you got a blitz 60% of the time and you don't get there? When you got 46 sacks and over half of your sacks is non-defensive linemen, come on, bro. 40-something sacks, but half of them sacks are only from the defensive line. What does that tell you, folks? You got the blitz to make up for the lack of pass rush. You can't depend on Vita to get 7 sacks every goddamn time at 330, 340 pounds. Luckily, he got some help with Kalijah Clancy, but Kalijah Clancy, he's a spotty player. He's a spotty player. Let's be real. He's a good player, but he's spotty as hell because he'll go missing for 10 plays. Got to keep blitzing to get sacks, leaving your secondary looking around with their hands up with the John Travolta Pulp Fiction look like, I don't know. I thought you had. I'm sick of that. Then at the end of the press conference after the game, after the post-game press conference, they asked Todd Bowles, what happened on that 3rd and 12 when they scored the game-winning touchdown? Well, they didn't communicate right. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. I'm listening to the post-game press conference of Todd Bowles making some pathetic excuse about lack of communication, walking around looking like John Travolta from Pulp Fiction, like, I thought you had him, Antoine Winfield Jr. No, I thought you had him, Tyke Smith. No, I thought you had him, Jacob Parrish. I mean, Winfield Jr., I thought you had him. Got to keep blitzing to get sacks, leaving your secondary out to dry like wet clothes on a hanger in the backyard. Y'all remember that back in the day? If you're from the back in the day when your mom, you know what I'm saying, would wash clothes and she would put the clothes on the hanger with the clothespins. That's what my mom did. Leaving your secondary out the dry, and they all point the finger like Spider-Man mean. You got you got. But I thought the blitz was coming from your side. No, you're supposed to blitz. No, you. Pointing fingers and stuff, shaking your head like, oh, I thought you had. That's all we seen the last couple years. Go back and watch the Commanders game. Watch the Rams game. Watch the Cowboys game when the Cowboys dominated us. What happened? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Go look at the both of the Atlanta Falcons games last year. Go look at the Lamar Jackson game last year. Pointing their fingers like Spider-Man memes. Oh, you got. Oh, you got. Oh, you. What happened to the blitz, Todd Bowles? No, they didn't get there. And they don't know about them clothespins, man. Them clothespins, man. Your mom hanging your secondary out to dry. You can't put the clothes in the dryer because the dryer messed up and it take too long. So you got to put the clothes out there to air dry. I'm on their head today. Pause. I ain't with all that pause stuff, but I just want to say that I'm trying to be funny. But that's a good point. Spider-Man and me pointing at each other. Well, you got no, you got him. Zion McCullough. Why didn't you blitz from your weak side? Oh, well, I thought you was gonna blitz. 3rd and 15, first down. And then they looking at each other. Oh man, what happened? Every time they get caught on, they turn around and looking at somebody. I thought you had him. Man, get out of here. You know, y'all notice that every time they give up a big play, Jamel Dean make the tackle, he hurt. Or Zion McCullough make the tackle after a big play, he looking around. Why do they always gotta be looking around? It's either they scared to take accountability or they don't know what the hell they're going at. And they done been in this system for multiple years. Multiple years. Tabo's been with this team since 2019. Oh, yeah, I thought you had. No, I thought you had. No, you had. I don't know you had. You know, but Tabo said, could you explain to me what happened to the Jalen Daniels touchdown when De'Ami Brown was open? Well, it was a miscommunication, and our guys didn't communicate well, and they didn't communicate well. But we were going to work on that in train in practice, and we're going to correct that. 1 week later, Bucks lose again. Guys wide open. Tom Bowles, like last week, it was still communication problems. What happened this week? Well, we're still having communication problems, and we got to get right on that. We got to fix those things. The same old damn story. Number 35 get burnt. He hurt. Burnt Toast Dean. Jamel burnt Toast Dean. And overly aggressive Zion McCullough. Exactly, Mom, for Christ. Giving up them 3rd and longs, man, you can just feel it just like, oh my gosh. And why is it every time number 35 burnt toast get burnt like a scraping black burntness off of toast? He always land on the ground sprawled out. 3rd and 10. Jalen Daniels dropped back. De'Ami Brown open. Wide open. 34-yard gain. I'm like, oh my gosh, who had De'Ami Brown? De'Ami Brown? He's not even on the Commanders no more. He's never been good. He played for North Carolina. He played for North Carolina. He was never good. But for some strange reason in that game, he unlocked some type of killer instinct. Ultra instinct. De'Ami Brown became a ultra instinct super saiyan. God mode. De'Ami Brown. Then we couldn't stop Jalen Daniels. He back there dropping back, looking around. I'm like, what is going on here? You know how it's like PTSD watching the Bucks and Commanders game. It's like PTSD watching the Bucks and Cowboys game, and the Cowboys D line dominating the Bucks O line. Why does that keep happening? Cooper Rush chucking the ball around. Why does that keep happening? Why does Lamar Jackson shred the Bucks? Josh Allen or any competent OC shreds the Bucks defense. Why is old man Kirk Cousins having career games against the Bucks? Gum. Gum. 3rd downs. Kirk, old man Cousins. Why was Bryce Young at the end of the year against the Bucks looking like he was something? Had Adam Thielen catching all kind of balls. What? Can't stop Brock Purdy? What are we doing here? Sick of this, man. I'm so sick of the freaking defense giving up second and third and longs, man. It's PTSD at this point. Right, observation hockey. That's exactly what Jalen Daniels did. Observation hockey is a mother. Jalen Daniels unlocked the conqueror's roar. The conqueror's roar is what Jalen Daniels unlocked in that playoff game. Observation hockey and conqueror's roar are two things that the Bucks cannot deal with. Pivotal moments. We got to get off the field. First down, drive continues. And usually in those moments, on those type of drives, what is the end result? The other team scores. Every time the Bucks give up those type of plays on certain drives in certain parts of the game, they always end up giving up a touchdown. Had Bo Nix looking like a prime freaking Doug Flutie. Sean Payton coached circles around the Bucks. The Broncos game was weird. I'm gonna go back and watch that again. Matter of fact, I'm gonna watch it right now. That Broncos game was weird. Don't sit here and tell me the Bucks defense is fine. Cut it out. Oh, Kenny Pickett got traded? Oh, wow. Kenny Pickett got traded. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. But we beat the Lions and the Eagles. Yeah, week 2 and week 3. But when it mattered, we are nowhere to be found. Let that sink in for a second. But we beat the Lions and the Eagles. Yeah, I don't know why the Bucks fans always think beating teams in week 1 and week 2 and week 3 and week 4 is a big deal. They always, oh, we beat the Eagles. What week that was? Oh, it was week 3, week 4. Okay. What about week 20? Where were the Bucks at? Oh, well, home. Yeah. I'm always talking about, the Bucks 2-1, the Bucks 3-1. They beat the Eagles and Lions. Yeah, we really like that. Wait till week 10. Week 10 rolls around. Oh, the Bucks under 500. Yep. Right on cue. It's not how you start, it's about how you finish. I'm watching the Broncos game right now. That was a weird game. Kenny Pickett got traded. The Pete Carroll said he was looking for a veteran quarterback that can help the Raiders. But then you go trade for Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett sucks. Little hands. Take my strong hand. They traded Kenny Pickett and they kept Shador and Dylan Gabriel. This is going to be really, I don't think, did y'all see the Browns schedule? Little hands, Kenny Pickett. Take my strong hand. The Raiders going to be terrible. They need a quarterback. Well, Geno Smith's not bad, but he got a ceiling. I think Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, I think they all have ceilings. I don't think they're Super Bowl quarterbacks unless you have an elite team. The media got See, the media has a love affair for quarterbacks like Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold. For whatever reason, they have a fetish for those type of quarterbacks. I don't know what it is. Even Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, they got big contracts but hasn't done anything. They have a love affair of quarterbacks that are mediocre at best. So Joe Flack, the Cleveland Browns schedule, off topic real quick. The Cleveland Browns schedule, their first 6 games are against first 5 games are against playoff teams. They're going to be 0-5. Oh, one player. So we got one player from 2018, 2 players from 2019. Oh my gosh. And no players from 2021. Let that sink in, folks. The Bucks draft class, 2018, 1 guy. 2019, 2 guys. 2020, couple guys. 2021, no guys. The Browns about to be 0-5. Dylan Gabriel, he's very limited. Like Dylan Gabriel's like a little bit bigger than me. Like he's not even that bigger than me, to be honest with you. But Dylan Gabriel, he's small, man. He can't see over the middle of the field. He has to scramble around in the middle of the pocket to see them. Like he's like Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams. They always got to be in the shotgun. But either way, Edward Graham, Dylan Gabriel will be the starter at some point. And then when that don't look good, when he gets hurt, then they're going to put in Shilo Sanders. So that's how it's going to go. They're going to start out with Joe Flacco, right? Then they're going to put in Dylan Gabriel at week 6 or week 7. They're going to give Dylan Gabriel some snaps. He's going to lose some games. Might get hurt because he's small. And then around about week 10, week 11, they're going to put Shilo Sanders in. Breeze was not 6 foot, Stephen Quintana. Breeze was like 5'10" and a half. Yep, I'm going to put some money on it. Shador will be the starter around about week 11. At the end of the season, when the Browns got nothing to play for, and then the Browns going to finish in the top 3 in a top 3 whatever, a top 4 in the draft in 2026. They're going to try to trade up to get one of the top quarterbacks. But Dylan Gabriel, man, he was on 3 teams in college. You know, he's small. He Oklahoma, Oregon, and what was the other team? Oklahoma, Oregon, and University of Central Florida. Yeah, Joe Flacco is the starter for now. And then when Joe Flacco flames out, when they 0-5 or 0-6, they're gonna put in Dylan Gabriel. This is what Shador Sanders messed up at. If he would have did good this last game, it would have been a true argument. But I understand why Dylan Gabriel is the quarterback number 2. Yeah, I understand why Dylan Gabriel is quarterback. I understand because it's what you've done for me lately. Like Shador started out good, Dylan Gabriel didn't start out good, and then Dylan Gabriel was hurt, Shador got hurt oblique, and then the last game against Dylan Gabriel did good. He moved the ball, and then Shador was taking some unnecessary sacks, holding the ball too long. This ain't Colorado, buddy. You can't drift out of the pocket. Step up in the pocket, Shador. Step up in the pocket, Shador. Do not drift left into the sacks, man. He loved doing that. He did it at Colorado. He'll get in that pocket. The pocket was formed. And what did Shador do? Pat the ball and slide outside the pocket. Stay inside the pocket, Shador. Jesus Christ. Now, yeah, Baker Mayfield is 6 foot. If Baker Mayfield stood next to Dylan Gabriel is a mini bond. Mini bond. Dylan Gabriel and Kyler Murray are mini micro bonds. What's the sound wave? What's the sound waves little mini transformers? You got the dog, you got the little bird. What's the name of them? Sound waves little like transformers. Anybody remember sound waves his little transformers? That's what Kyler Murray, Dylan Gabriel, mini bond. Yeah, Ravage, Rumble, Laserbeak. Yeah, Laserbeak. That's what I'm saying. Like Dylan Gabriel and Kyler Murray. That's what they remind me of. Ravage, Rumble, and Laserbeak. And Frenzy. Yeah, they small. Baker Mayfield 6 foot. If he stood next to Kyler Murray and Dylan Gabriel, they're small. Laserbeak was my favorite. Ravage was a savage. Rumble was ready to get down on anything. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, that is true. 4 of the 5 linemen that Shador was playing with this past weekend, 4 of those guys got cut. Now I do know that. I know. He was playing with some rooms to go managers, State Farm insurance agents, Albertson's deli meat cutters. You know, they was playing with security guards for Shakira. He was playing with Planet Fitness trainers. Yeah, Nick Jackson got cut. That's crazy. Not King Cook. Nick Jackson got cut was kind of weird, but whatever. Mama for Christ. Now, if you go back and watch that tape, there was some couple plays that Shador should have took the short pass or stepped up in the pocket and make the throw. I'm not knocking Shador's skill set, but there was a couple plays that was pointed out. If you go back and watch the preseason game and slow it down all 22, when he hit that back foot, there was a couple check downs there. And if he stepped up in the pocket on a couple of those plays, there was a couple throws that he could have made. Mini bond. Yeah, all four to 5 O linemen got cut. Yep. Yeah, they had Shador out there playing with used car salesmen. They had Shador out there playing with guys that would never play on an NFL field in their life again. The closest thing they'll ever get to the NFL is the preseason. Don't be surprised Deshaun Watson get back on that field sometime this season. But that is funny though, because the next day they cut 4 of those 5 linemen. I was like, set him up for failure. Dylan Gabriel in there playing with guys that's gonna be on the field, backups, and they got Shador in there playing. Got him in there playing with Florida State Fair game attendance. I'm just saying, man. First down. Don't get mad at me. Anyway, but I've been ranting on for the last hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, man. The Cal Trask situation, that's unfortunate. Shilo Sanders, best of luck to you. Shout out to Cal Trask, man. We appreciate your contributions to the team, man. Whatever you did to help the team win Super Bowl. May the force be with you, Cal Trask and Shilo Sanders. Blessings and peace and blessings, man. But Nick Jackson getting cut, that was a head scratcher. Matter of fact, I can't wait. Matter of fact, tomorrow I gotta do the roster cuts. I gotta do the roster cuts tomorrow. I gotta go. How close did we get to our roster, our pre-roster? Sandoval 813. Appreciate the super chat, $5 super chat. I like to round up. I like to round up my monies, my coins. You know what I'm saying? We need more support this season with the super chats. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that because this takes a lot of my time to be coming on here during the week, putting my studying behind me and my crypto. I gotta stay on my crypto game, but I put that to the side to come on here and make videos and my studying for certifications. I put that to the side to give y'all some of my time. And even on Sundays, it ain't easy. So this season, I need y'all to tighten up. Why Jason Light draft players in 2021, 2022 draft? Learn from starter, and it didn't work out like Tryon learning from JPP, Trask with Brady. I mean, big clip. Big clip. Smack just throw the lobs to us. And anything at the bottom, just feed us. Smack just throw the lobs to us. Anything at the bottom, feed us. Bars. That's bars. But yeah, Tryon learning from JPP, Trask learning from Brady, it didn't work out. Christian Eisen, he's gonna get cut. I don't know, man. Jacob Parrish, man. Remember, Christian Eisen was undrafted, I believe. But Jacob Parrish, man, like we don't need Christian Eisen to be honest with you. Like when the Bucks drafted Jacob Parrish, one of the first people I looked at was Christian Eisen. I was like, oh, he about to get cut, or he might get cut because the year before they drafted Tyke Smith and they moved Christian Eisen. He lost his job to Tyke Smith. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying when they drafted Tyke Smith, Christian Eisen was not starting no more. And then to turn around the next year, they drafted Jacob Parrish, who's going to be the starting nickel. Oh yeah, Robert Hainsley and Ryan Jensen. Robert Hainsley was a third-round pick and didn't work out. So there was 3 guys that was signed to be behind veterans, and it didn't work out. More Power Buck with the $20 super chat. Shout out to More Power Buck. More power to you. More power to y'all. Power. This is not about money. This is about power. There's a new king in the street. Here's a message here for your people. Appreciate the super chat. But Christian he's in trouble. Tyke Smith and Jacob Parrish. Both of them 3rd-round picks that can play safety and nickel. They upgraded. They upgraded from Christian Eisen, man. Jacob Parrish bigger than Christian Eisen. But tomorrow I'll make another video. We're gonna talk about the final 53 and how many did we get right, which I think we got a lot of them right. And I'm looking forward to the practice squad candidates. What are they gonna do with Desmond Watson? Are they gonna put him on practice squad? Afternoon delight. Said draft the starter. Start with the potential starters. Oh, Chris Braswell, man. How do y'all feel about, man? We're gonna talk about him, man. Oh, I was watching Chris Braswell, man, go against backup right tackles. That boy is not ready. Afternoon delight. Chris Braswell is not ready. You ready? He's not ready. He couldn't beat backup right tackles. What you think he gonna do against starting right tackles? What you gonna do when the Hawks to run wild on you? Flex to the side. I don't know what we're gonna do with Braswell, man. He did not look good this preseason, bro. Afternoon delight. Man, the linebacker situation, man. Jack Campbell, Corey Swasinger from the Browns. If anybody been paying attention to the Browns rookie linebacker, linebacker is a problem. But yeah, anyway. Oh, he got the green dot. Swasinger. Or shouts out to all the Pirates of Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. With that being said, final 53 tomorrow. Drop a video. Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Hashtag we making moves. Hashtag facts and feelings. Hashtag what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag why. Buckles Locker signing out. Peace.